Welcome to the Courting Happiness podcast. This is a space where self-care becomes part of your day. A space where you learn evidence-based strategies to help your life, share it with those you love, and cultivate well-being at work. I'm your host, Dr. Kortni Alston. I'm a former news director, television reporter turned happiness scholar, TEDx speaker, and transformational trainer. I also understand hardships. While working my dream job in television, I lived a nightmare suddenly becoming a young widow after 86 days of marriage. I became committed to learning more about resilience, healing, and happiness. This is how I discovered my area of research, which is positive psychology. Now I'm living my calling of training individuals and organizations on happiness. And my new chapter begins with being happily engaged. The Courting and Courting Happiness is about a true courtship. I like to say commitment with happiness. The K in courting stands for the vulnerability of sharing my story, inspirational interviews with phenomenal people, the infusion of positive psychology, and so much more. You'll learn how to commit to your well-being one episode at a time. I hope you subscribe and share. So, are you ready? Let's get started. Welcome to episode 97. I'm Dr. Kortni Alston. I'm so happy that you're here. Well, this podcast is a special one because I'm not at the Courting Happiness home studio. I am actually traveling. I'm podcasting today in Las Vegas. I'm here for my organization, the National Association of Black Journalists and the National Association of Hispanic Journalists. We're having our convention together in Vegas, and I will be speaking about mental health and well-being for journalists. And I am so grateful that I'm here, and I'm actually in my hotel suite, and I set up my whole, remote podcasting studio, which is interesting because I also had a remote interview for another show just actually yesterday. I felt like it was just a couple of days ago, but nope, it was just yesterday. And I thought about it while I'm sitting here creating my studio here in Las Vegas. I thought, what will I discuss? What will I discuss in this episode? So as I'm sitting here talking with you with the big lights of Vegas overlooking the strip, I said, you know what? The topic is crystal clear. Well, our topic will be about being present. How being present is truly a gift. And I found an incredible article by Dr. Elyssa Barbash. And she wrote really a great piece in regards to mindfulness and being present in the moment, that's published in Psychology Today. And in the lead, she shares a question that really resonated. And she said this: have you ever heard of the saying, "Don't let the future steal your present"? That statement in itself that she shared, that question speaks to the value of mindfulness. In the article, she talks about being a licensed mental health counselor and her experience with patients. She also discusses how she teaches her patients how to become more mindful, which is how really to be more present. It's really about being more present in the moment, right? She shares that those who live in the moment tend to be happier, calmer, relaxed, and appreciative. Mindfulness can increase your ability to be in tune with your thoughts and emotions. And I also love this golden nugget that she shares. She says, I often tell my patients that depression lives in the past and anxiety lives in the future. This is so true. And there have been times here in Vegas that I've started thinking about, wow, I wish I had did this, or, oh, I think the next convention I will do blank. You know what? I actually stopped myself. I stopped myself when my thoughts started to go there. I said, hey, Dr. Kortni, we aren't going to, sit up here and talk about what we need to do for next convention, or wow, I should have done this, or maybe I should have brought this, right? I said to myself, we're going to value right now. So to help me remain present, I decided to focus on what I'm grateful for. And I actually wrote it down. And I started to write down all of the different things that I was grateful for and just let them float. And one of them, of course, at the very top, I talked about how grateful I am to share this experience with my fiance. It's this organization, NABJ, that connected us. For those who may be new to the podcast, my fiance Ken is an Emmy Award winning television reporter in the market where we live, which we live in the Charlotte area, and he is a reporter in the Charlotte market and works for a local station there, and has been there for over 20 years and has multiple Emmy Awards. And he also serves on the national board of our organization, NABJ. And so I think so fondly about all things about our organization that I like to affectionately call our family. It's really our family. So when I became present and just grateful, I thought, wow, gosh, I'm so grateful that I have this incredible, amazing fiance. I'm so grateful that I'm here at this convention, which is an amazing, amazing place. I'm so grateful for NABJ and being a part of the organization. I'm so grateful that my organization feels more like family than anything else, than just saying it's my quote professional organization. I mean, it's that, but it's my family. I consider it family. And then it made me reminded me, oh wow, wait a minute. You know what? You met the love of your life. You met the love of your life through this organization. And you've met so many wonderful people that you are so grateful to not just call them a friend, but to call them family. And so as I'm sitting here thinking, and then I thought to myself, I'm so grateful for this amazing hotel suite, and that I'm grateful looking in this beautiful room and staring outside of these beautiful windows that allows me to really just admire Vegas day and night. And right now I'm podcasting, it's night and the lights are just twinkling and I'm at eye level at these beautiful tall buildings that have transformed into resorts and themes and entertainment that fills the air. The moment I process, and the moment that I begin to say, I need to have this or I need to do that, it takes away from the beauty of now. It takes away from the beauty of life. It takes away from the beauty of being present. And Dr. Barbash mentions that our mind may be stealing our time, which she means, and what I should say, what she really means by this is, like when you're on vacation, you might say, I don't want this vacation to be over. Have you ever been there before? I don't want this to end, right? You might be having so much fun, but you're like, Monday, I don't even want to think about Monday. And so she shares all of these different scenarios. And this is one of the things that I love that she mentions. And I'm going to actually quote her on this. She says, quote, "This type of thinking only allows your mind to steal away your precious time. And in reality, the time will naturally pass and exciting, joyous occasions will naturally come to a close. So don't feel as though you have to kind of speed up that process, right?" And I love that she talks about this because we can easily get caught up. I don't want this to end. Oh gosh, but it's, I love that she's talking about valuing what's in front of you. Another example of this is when you're thinking about something very exciting approaching. She mentions is a trip, maybe your wedding, a reunion, a big party. Then she says, let's run with this example for a moment. You may be so excited about the trip that you may say, you can do is think about and plan for it, right? All you can do is kind of think about this trip. However, by thinking this way, you're essentially wishing away the time between now and the trip, which is going to pass anyhow, because that's what time does. Then before you know it, you're on the trip and then it's over. Then it's over. She said a better approach is to savor. I love she's talking about savoring, because savoring is also, I love discussing. I really discussed dynamics of savoring in past episodes in terms of positive psychology. It's really about savoring the moment. I love that in terms of having someone really focusing in on the moment, savoring the moment, right? It reminds me of like when you're maybe at a favorite restaurant and you have the meal that you just love, and you just take a bite and you just don't plow through the meal, right? You're like, no, I'm just going to sit here. I'm going to savor the moment. I'm going to savor every bite. So she mentions a better approach is to savor the upcoming excitement of the trip, and is to literally do really just that in terms of being present in a moment, including the time leading up to it, and not to wish it away the time until you get there. I love that. Savoring the moment. So if you're listening to this podcast and thinking about the next thing, I want you to simply focus on the present. Savor this moment. Focus on what is in front of you. Focus on what you're grateful for. Focus on this very moment. And focus on the gift that just keeps on giving. And that's being patient. That's being patient and present, and really understanding that being present is truly a gift. It's truly a gift. It's funny because when you see the word present, right? It's like, yeah, being present, but it's a present. It is a present. It is truly a present. You can learn more about Dr. Barbash's article and read it on our website at for the Courting Happiness podcast in terms of our episode page. You can do so by going to drkortnialston.com/podcast/episode 97. I hope this episode helps you really become present. And I hope you know this, that I treasure every moment that we spend on this podcast and every moment having the opportunity to talk with you. Thank you so much for listening. And remember this, your well-being is your most important job. Thank you for listening. Let's continue this conversation online. Email us at podcast@drkortnialston.com. That's podcast@drkortnialston.com. Join us on Instagram at Courting Happiness. Don't forget, that's courting with a K. Also, I hope you join our private Facebook community. You can find us at Courting Happiness Podcast Community. Our private Facebook group is a safe haven to share, meet more people looking to build positive relationships, focus on well-being, and create a happier life. Now, are you ready to spread happiness? We hope you subscribe and share this podcast with your family, friends, coworkers, and all the important people in your world. We release a new episode every Thursday. Congratulations on your continued commitment to your courting happiness journey. Thank you so much for listening. We want you to be well, be happier, and be kinder to yourself. We can't wait to see you next week.